Good morning. I wanted to share some of the successes we've had over the last few months. Um, One of which being we actually got our hands on some free mulch. We've been purchasing mulch for the areas that we planted our permaculture, our fruiting trees. But we actually got a local tree company to bring us mulch a couple times last week, and we were able to fill in this whole entire area with fresh mulch. So it has everything it needs right now to be a huge compost pile. Basically, it's fermenting in the sun. It's like 10:35 in the morning, and you can see how bright it is out here. So this mulch is heating up, it's breaking down. All the microorganisms in it are making all the nutrients bioavailable for the trees and any plants that we plant in this area. So lots of bennies from the mulch. So I'm really excited to get some crops planted in here this fall. But I wanted to talk to you about some plants that we got and planted, and seeds from a couple different companies. I wanted to start with our Beauregard sweet potatoes. We purchased 75 slips from a company called Urban Farmer. The actual website is ufseeds.com. The Beauregard sweet potatoes were one of University of Florida's top 2 picks for the best sweet potatoes to grow in and around Central Florida. So since that is where we live in our Zone 9A, we decided to go with these sweet potatoes. I can say that they arrived in pretty good condition. I didn't really know what to expect when getting sweet potato slips. We have lost a few, but the ones that we didn't lose are doing absolutely great. I'll show you some of them. So originally planted 75 slips in this whole patch here. There's almost an entire row this way. They're still kind of small. An entire row on the outside. So after we planted this patch is when we got the free mulch from the local tree company, and then we filled in all the area around it. And all of this area is intended to be a pumpkin patch. So in the next few weeks I'm going to be preparing to have a pumpkin patch for Halloween. So ufseeds.com, that is where the Beauregard sweet potato slips came from. It was really easy processing. They do not send sweet potato slips out to your area unless it is your time to plant. So if it's not the right time of year, you don't get the sweet potatoes. They take your order, and when it's time to ship, your order is then shipped out. So I thought that was really cool. It's very responsible. It prevents people who, like me, are first-time sweet potato farmers from purchasing a bunch of slips there in the wrong time and not having a successful crop, and then just wasting all those slips. So Urban Farmer, from what I understand, this is their first or second year actually selling the sweet potato slips to the public through the mail. So I'm really glad that they do that now, and we were able to plant this patch. I also got, because I cannot help myself, a bunch of different kind of seed packs from Urban Farmer. One of them was dill. I planted the dill through this area. This is just on the northwest end of the yard, and on that same end of the sweet potato patch. And I was hoping that it would be kind of a perimeter. It would be on this fence line. It would, sorry about the traffic, it would jazz it up a little bit. It's our Carolina jasmine here. It does great, but it doesn't flower this time of year, and I really wanted to grow some dill. So nothing has come up yet, which is unfortunate. I was really excited about it, and it may very well be because of how I planted it. I just sprinkled the seeds over the mulch because, and I'll show you why. I had really good success with the wildflowers doing that, so I tried it with the dill also. and it hasn't worked. It didn't have the same germination rate, or if any at all. So I'm still giving it a little bit more time. In this area, in the corner, it gets a little more shady at different times of the day, and so I actually sprinkled the UF seeds, chamomile seeds over here, and I am still kind of waiting for sprouts. I'm seeing this little guy and this little guy and this one here, and I'm just curious if any of those are like some of the wildflower seeds that kind of blew over into this area, or if it is actual chamomile. So I'm just gonna let them do their thing. There's another one here. As I pull back some mulch, I can see like little saplings, but because again, in the other area, and I'll show you, I did wildflower seeds, and I had such a great germination rate. I did the same thing here with the chamomile, and it doesn't look like I'm having equal results. Now, this little section over here is some kind of wildflower also, so we'll just let it do whatever it wants, and we'll see what kind of flowers we get. So I think the wind may have carried some of the seeds to these little spots. So I'm not actually looking at chamomile here, but I am going to show you on the other end of the yard where I planted wildflowers. Okay, so I'm walking over here to this little patch. I've sprinkled out wildflowers before from, you know, the commercial wildflower packs that you get from stores like the Dollar General and Big Lots, and I haven't had a lot of success with them, so I didn't really know what to expect from UF Seeds wildflower seed pack. What I did think was cool is that they provide packs of wildflower seeds for specific regions. So I purchased the Florida pollinator, the Southeast United States ones, so that they are flowers that are specifically for my zone, my region. And as you can see, I have had a really good germination rate. They're small still. I mean, they're only less than 2 weeks old, but they are growing. And just looking around this bed, there's such a variety in leaves and types already. You can see, sorry, you can see the shadow of my phone better. So I was really happy with what was happening with the wildflower seeds, and that's why I decided to do the same thing with the chamomile seeds and just sprinkle them over the mulch. But I bought 2 packs of chamomile seeds. The one I sprinkled in the area I just showed you with the mulch, and it didn't come up. And then let me show you the ones that did come up. All right, so here in my backyard area, I pulled these 2 raised containers back here because it is primarily a hammock from this giant magnolia tree on our property, and it doesn't get a lot of full sun. So I have different types of spinach growing in here that I brought from a local like all natural nursery, and I've already done propagations on it, and these are well over a week old Malabar, and you can just see how great they're doing. So what I decided to do was sprinkle the other pack of chamomile seeds in this bed, and all of this greenery here is chamomile. So I wasn't too disappointed when I didn't see anything coming up in the mulched area by the sweet potatoes, because it definitely wasn't the seeds' fault that they didn't do well. It was kind of my fault, because that was not a great way to plant these particular types of seeds. They're so small. They're so small. I can't even explain or express how teeny tiny these seeds are. So I've had a really good germination rate here among the spinach, in the shade, on bare soil with the chamomile from UF Seeds. This is just another little plug here. My turmeric. This is a mango ginger. I think it's called mango turmeric. Something like that. Anyway, these are turmerics and gingers in here. So I have ginger, turmeric, and these are little sprouts from mine last season. So they're doing really good. Here next to my awapui, which is the shampoo ginger. They haven't started blooming yet. The other seed I got from ufseeds.com, Urban Farmer, was comfrey. I really wanted to grow comfrey because I understand its medical benefits, its medicinal value. I actually have comfrey root that I use for hair, skin, wounds. So I wanted to grow comfrey not only because it's medicinal, but because it's also beneficial to the plants around it. I read that comfrey has a tap root that goes very, very deep. You plant it at the base of the tree, and that tap root pulls nutrients up through it and then into the roots of the tree. This particular tree is an avocado that we grew from seed like in 2018. So I decided to start the comfrey in here. And originally I had four sprouts. There's one. And there's two. I think there were 6 seeds total. But again, I had this whole tree kind of sitting in the sun in a more sunny area, just over there by the ponytail palm. And after I got home from work, I noticed that the comfrey weren't doing so hot. And I believe they just got too hot in the direct sun, so it's totally my fault. I did have a better germination rate with them prior to those little guys not making it. So I have moved this whole pot over into the shade, and this one's looking great, and this one's looking great. So at this point I have 2 comfreys. There's a couple other seeds that we got from Urban Farmer, ufseeds.com, that we have not started yet, so I'll keep you apprised on how those go, and the other companies that we're purchasing seeds and plants from, and share our successes and our failures. Thanks, have a great day.